Hello and good morning. I just woke up a little bit ago. Um, the following video you're about to see is a three-part reaction, but the third part I had to react to off stream because the audio leaked of Brad Tayson Music's actual domestic violence is so upsetting. I will not and cannot, in good faith, stream that reaction to a live audience. And I am giving you a disclaimer now. If you have any sort of trauma from domestic abuse, whether that's verbal, emotional, intimate, or whatnot, now is the time to click away from this fucking video. Okay? I'm serious. I have PTSD myself, and this audio, the first time I heard it, was very triggering for me. If you have the iron will to keep going, this is still your disclaimer that it will be upsetting. Okay? It's fucking bad. Anyways, that's the warning I'm giving you. This is your only warning. Thank you. Chat, this can't be fucking true, dude. It can't. Can it? Alright, we're gonna take a look at it. I guess I should recap who Brad Tayson Music is. They review entire albums on stream. What the fuck? Okay.
I need to make something clear from the get-go. I am not Brad Tayson Music. Anytime I have a video that does numbers, there's at least 2 or 3 comments. At least 2 or 3 comments saying I look like Brad Tayson
I mean, you look like him, but that doesn't mean you are him.
Music. I'm not an avid watcher of the guy's channel. I saw him blow up initially, whenever that was, like 4 or 5 years ago. I've been loosely aware of some of the drama he's been involved in since then. Up till now, it's been kind of just a ha-ha little thing. Yeah, okay, there's one more comment saying I look like Brad Tayson Music. So funny, guys. But now it's different.
Okay.
Because I feel like I need to actually differentiate myself from this person given a video he uploaded today. Brad Tayson Music uploaded what I could only describe as a very greasy diatribe earlier today. The video was removed after, I believe, a couple hours, but there are re-uploads already. In it, he
what the fuck?
talks about his continually deteriorating mental health, his ideations towards and the big bombshell is that he admits to having been arrested for domestic violence. On top
Is this a recent arrest?
of all this, he very clearly considers himself to be victim number 1 in this whole situation. It's an interesting watch. It's a depressing watch. I'm going to cut down some of the yammering because there is a lot of slightly schizo feeling ramblings that occur in this video.
Okay. What the fuck? So it is real. When did it happen and why is he playing the victim game?
I want to try to explain to you guys what's going on through my head because it's pretty interesting. I had to just go to my computer and hit record because I know I have to make this video.
Yeah, he looks fucked up.
And not for the reason that you think I have to make this video, like I'm saving my reputation, but because if I don't make this video, I'm going to keep thinking about it. Realistically, like, yes, I would love for this video to, like, make it so that, like, it's easy for me to just return, go back to normal, what I was doing before, But the reality is I could do that anyways. I'm in a...
You need to fucking get your life evaluated right now. That's what I'm feeling.
a good spot right now where artistically I'm confident enough in myself to where if I started making content, I believe that people would enjoy it enough. I could just go the sneaky underground, mysterious artist route that, like, honestly, I've seen everybody do. Everybody's doing it.
It doesn't. Okay, I'm sorry. I haven't been super plugged into this guy's stuff in a while, but doesn't he just stream music and yap about whether he likes it or not? Why are we talking about being an artist? Maybe
He does make music, surprisingly enough.
I'm missing something here. I just feel like that language is a little lofty for what your content is.
All right, let's start from the beginning of like where things went wrong. I went to a show. It was a live show in California. It was Ethan Klein and Hila Klein performing.
Why the fuck? Oh no.
I had backstage passes. I met them. I talked with them. I related a lot to them, especially Hila.
Okay, I remember that controversy happening. I'm going to stop him right there, though. He took a picture with H3. That was the controversy, and people didn't like that because he has a very liberal base, and they consider H3 to be genocide supporters right now.
They are. They're some of the worst.
Think whatever you will about that. That's fine. I don't care. But that's not why any of this is happening. All he had to do was just be like, sorry you guys feel bad about that. Literally, I'm sorry you feel that way would have been adequate because people would have forgotten about it like in a month. And if he had just kept making content, he'd be fine. So I feel like him viewing that as the thing that ruined his life is him not grasping that he is ruining his life. It seems that his actions since then have continued to cause his own mental health to spiral. I know he was in and out of rehab. He's looking pretty haggardly in this video. I don't know if that's a drug thing or just a manic episode thing. Could be.
It could be a manic episode, but yeah, it could also be a drug thing. I don't know. I've never seen him look like this. I've watched a lot of his videos, like, in the background while I'm doing shit. So, and mind you, I knew nothing about this. Nothing about his controversies, nothing about this at all, except for the one where he pissed off Melanie Martinez fans because, you know, she portrays very victim-blaming behavior and projects a lot of eating disorders and mental health issues that she does not have, you know?
Either.
I was like, yeah, I could post that. It's great. You know, I didn't think it would be a statement. It was really stupid of me because, of course, it's a statement. It's Ethan and Hila Klein. But I wasn't really ready for war. I wanted to back out. So, like, I basically just went against them and said, you know what, I need to back out. I can't do this. You know, this is too hot. And then everyone called me a pussy. Which, I mean, to be fair, like, I kind of was.
I mean, that's correct. I mean, you just admitted the only reason you backed out of it was because you didn't want to face the pressure. So that's kind of the definition of being weak. I won't use the P word, but yeah. I just got to double back on that in the editing room because he says there, not only did he back off and apologize for taking that picture with Ethan and Hila Klein, but he says he actually went against them. He threw them under the bus.
So, like, I basically just went against them.
Not because he actually believes that they're bad people or they did something.
And see, like, God, he doesn't want the bad press, is what I'm hearing.
Wrong, but because he wanted to avoid the backlash and to save face. Think what you will about the H3 people. I'm certainly not like a stan of theirs at all. Whether or not they are bad people has nothing to do with the fact that his motives were pure cowardice.
But also at the same time, I thought that my choice was understandable. Like, I had a family to take care of, you know? Like, I didn't want this to become my life.
I have yet to be in like a major controversy, so, you know, who knows? It's a little unfair for me to sit here and judge tactics, but I do feel like a literal I'm sorry you feel that way and then keeping your head down and making your usual content would have been perfectly fine and you'd be back on your feet. It seems like this was largely just an internal battle
You know, people are talking about it. I'm a hot topic. And my partner is freaking out because she's involved. You know, she's a part of the whole equation. And I start trying to, you know, say things to fix it. And when I try to help, it basically results in her screaming and crying that things are getting worse and that it's all my fault. So I'm trying to, you know, keep my job because I'm paying her a ridiculous amount of money, like $5,000 a month.
What? You're not telling the whole story, dude. You're not.
To basically do nothing. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't have a problem with that. Like, if I like paying her $5,000 a month so she could, you know, lay around, smoke weed on the couch and be happy. Great.
Okay. Kind of sounds like you do have a problem with that. Obviously
Yeah.
not a very good look to paint her in that light.
I'd say
You make her sound like she's a bum, but like, dude, are you trying to keep her complacent on something? I'm so confused.
that everything reached an apex when she recorded me in my house yelling at her through the door. I was fucking pissed. I was just like mad because I'm trying to fucking figure everything out in like an impossible situation. You know, trying to get things back to normal so that like
You're being so vague, though.
we could live a normal fucking life.
Am I the one tripping? I feel like, hey guys, I'm sorry you were offended. I took a picture with the H3 podcast. I do not support genocide, but I took a picture with them because I always loved their content growing up, and I went and saw their show. Like, I feel like that's a winning strategy. I don't know. Even if you don't appease like the Twitch politics Hassan crowd, there's like plenty of people on YouTube who are not of that ilk.
And she repays me by recording me in my house without my knowledge. She sends it to my parents. She sends it to friends. She sends it to people who are associated with Hive Mind. Yeah, and it's the biggest betrayal I've ever felt. I really I felt so violated.
His eyes are so fucking wide. Like, are you okay?
But like she couldn't hear that because she looked up that it was legal to do that, you know, to like record me in that state. And because it was legal, it was moral to do that. You know? But like, man.
Oh gosh, why is this in a YouTube video? Okay.
Why?
I mean, I'm sure I'm just saying, at this point, I'm just kind of saying.
Why did you make it public? If you were gonna record this, you could have at least made it like unlisted or private. There was no need to make it public. But clearly you have issues that you need to take care of.
What everybody is thinking, but like, if it damaged your reputation to all of those people that she sent it to, what was happening in that fucking video? What was going on in that video?
Exactly.
Doesn't sound like it was good on your part. You gonna elaborate on that?
I believe maybe like a week later, I was streaming. When I said, I remember I was like doing a stream and then I left. I go to the kitchen. I see her sitting on the couch, like screaming and crying, and I'm pissed off. Like, because like I'm trying to focus, you know, to get work done. And it felt like she was interrupting that.
Hey, babe. Hi. I recognize that you are crying right now and undergoing a traumatic experience of some kind, but I'm trying to talk about AJR for my 1,000 listeners. So can you shut the fuck up, please?
Yeah, no, that's fucking disgusting.
Yeah, my response to her crying was screaming at her, which was bad.
You think?
But my justification was, I am streaming right now. I can't have you like screaming and crying like in the house. You know, I'm like doing this thing where I'm like, you need to go to your mom's house. She's like, you know, fuck you. This is my house too. And I'm like, I pay all the bills. This is all important. This is all important. Trust me.
Is it?
I pay the bills for this entire place. You know, like I'm keeping it up. You don't contribute shit to the equation. Get out. She calls the cops on me, and they have me arrested for domestic violence. That is really where the story all starts.
You are not telling the full story, dude. I really don't think you're telling the full story.
Like, you know, I'm in a jail cell.
So, if he comes with receipts and shows that this was the justice system failing, and they had an argument, and it was able to be leveraged into a false domestic violence claim, he's welcome to bring those receipts. But just the facts of the matter that he's laying out feels like there was maybe a little bit more oomph to this situation than just a shouting match.
Yeah.
I don't know if there were threats.
Yeah.
This is pretty obviously not a good situation. Okay, so I did come across another account about the domestic violence charges. This is a Twitter thread of an ex-editor of Brad Taste in Music. He and them had a falling out over money. They tweeted yesterday, a bit after the incident between me and Brad, I had tried to reach out to him to clear up the air between us involving the money situation. He was dismissive to me, so I gave up. A few days later, I received a DM from a third party telling me that Brad wanted to talk, so I did. In there, he apologized to me, saying that what I did was what I had to do. I mentioned that I shouldn't have went publicly as quickly as I did, and things worked out fine. I told him I wasn't interested in pursuing a proper friendship again, and we went from there. A few days later, however, I received a phone call from Brad in front of a police station. He was screaming and crying and told me he was just arrested for domestic abuse. He told me he just screamed at her, but I was skeptical and figured there had to be missing details. I stayed on the phone with him until he was at a hotel and safe. He told me things that his fiancée had done, but without much detail. He mentioned that she turned the Hive Mind crew against him and bragged into his face that nobody likes you anymore. He pleaded with me not to talk to his fiancée, which I didn't, in part because I didn't really have a proper way of reaching out to her, but heard from a third party who did talk to her that all she did was film him yelling and send it to Hive Mind. After that situation went quiet, the whole thing eventually continued to bother me. So many details didn't add up to me. Eventually, I realized that Brad wasn't someone I wanted to keep connections with, considering the incident between us and what I had just learned. I later cut off contact with him and tried to put this whole thing behind me. However, one thing continued to bother me, and that was the online association I currently had with someone who I learned was convicted of DV.
I am so... I'm so confused, dude. Like, what? Ooh. I need to know, like, more. I need to know more about it because, like, I don't believe him. And I think it's just because of the fact that he's so manic right now. Whether it's drug induced or mental health induced, I don't know, but still.
Wanted that connection gone, so I tried to email Brad professionally asking for the removal of any videos featuring me. However, I didn't receive a response from him directly. Instead, he tells someone that I should have apologized for slandering him and he owes me no favors and that he wasn't going to take the videos down. I saw the response and realized that there was no use fighting it.
Hi, Shariah. People keep being mean to me. What should I do about that? It depends. If you feel that it's bad enough to where your life is in danger, defend yourself. If it's not at that point yet, verbally stand up for yourself. Like, don't let them push you around. But if it gets to the point where your mental health is, like, spiraling, you need to talk to somebody. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, you're good. You're good. Just, do your best to defend yourself and stand up for yourself. And then if it gets to a point where it's too much for you to handle, talk to somebody. Go to a counselor, go to, your teachers or your parents. I don't know how old you are, but I'm just saying. Yeah, of course. Of course.
And left it be. I mean, he probably does have a legal right to keep those videos up, I would assume. That part of it doesn't really matter to me. Now fast forward today, and I discovered that Brad has publicly come out about the DV charge in what is a weirdly manipulative video involving the situation. I don't know the full details about what happened between Brad and his fiance, but I have one thing I need to say. Brad, you need to get off the internet and YouTube, blah, blah, blah. The whole situation has left me genuinely confused and brain fucked, and sitting on the nuclear bomb of information that was Brad's DV charge didn't help.
I need more context, dude. Like, it's so vague. Even his closest friends don't actually know what happened. Like, what the fuck is this video?
Brad's ex, Tina, has come out with a statement on Twitter as of, I guess, 7 hours ago. I'm sifting through the many notes, audio recordings, and screenshots I have dating back to 2019. I'm not sure how much I want to share, if any. Please understand I spent 5 years with this person, and he was paying me to work with/for him for less than 2 years of that. Later in the thread, she says, after almost 6 years of trying my hardest to protect him despite the abuse, I just don't have it in me anymore. So she is
It's been years worth. Damn.
formally alleging abuse. There is a domestic violence arrest that did occur. It would be good if she can provide maybe a little bit more evidence, since we don't know how the domestic violence arrest technically went down, but things certainly aren't looking very promising for Brad.
There's like a clip of me that's like me talking about how I don't feel safe in my home, and then like an hour later I'm in jail. You know?
This truly does feel like a gaslighter's blueprint to me. He's provided no receipts. He's provided no even alleged anecdotes as to why he should feel unsafe in his home. Meanwhile, his fiance has provided several anecdotes and allegations as to why she should feel unsafe in the home. And yet he's saying that he feels unsafe for some ambiguous, unspecified reason. And he's attaching that to him landing in jail over a domestic violence charge.
It's crazy. And I don't want to fucking say any of this. I don't want to talk about this. It makes me look bad.
It seems like you only care about saving face right now, dude.
But I'm also now realizing that I don't really care, because that's what happened. Those are, that's what I did. These are the choices I made. Anyways, yeah, so
Hey, Estarva.
once that happens, the relationship is over. Man, I felt so betrayed. She basically she moved to Detroit. And here's kind of where it gets difficult for me, because it's one thing like losing your partner. It's another thing like with losing Hive Mind.
Oh, so you don't even care. You only care about, like, the Hive Mind group.
How on earth did this relationship not pan out? So he was friends with the dudes from Hive Mind, and they distanced themselves from him once all this stuff started coming out. Yeah, the woman I was gonna spend the rest of my life with.
I'm doing pretty good. I got paid by my college, surprisingly. I thought summer semester wasn't going to pay me, but apparently they did. And we move tomorrow, so this is the final stream. I know I said that last time, but I said I'd come back. This is the final day of streaming, let's put it that way, before I move. So, yeah. I hope that you guys will hang out with me for a little bit, just so that we can have a good time. Hold on, I'm checking. I'm checking on everything. Alright, hold on. Gotcha, gotcha. I hope the move goes well for you. I hope so too. Alright. Never know.
That was rough, but didn't hold a candle to losing my connections with this YouTube channel with slightly less than 500,000 subscribers.
I almost myself over it. Like,
You're joking. You're joking. What is he doing?
I had this, and I had pills. However, good news is this happened
Thank you, Cast. I appreciate you so much.
3 months ago, and there's this much alcohol in the bottle. It means something went well. It means something's going right. So, you know, the fact that, like, my ex moves to Detroit, like, around all these, like, hive mind people, and then starts, like, dating Graydon's roommate, you know? And, like, Riley leaves me on red.
You're more upset about this YouTuber group you were friends with than you were about your ex-fiance leaving you. This is Brad Tayson Music. He reviews entire albums on streams. Somebody I would watch in the background a lot. But yeah, no. He is more mad about getting arrested for domestic violence, and no, not for that. He doesn't care about the charge. He's more mad about the fucking YouTube group he was buddy with not talking to him anymore because of it than he is about his ex-fiance moving to Detroit. Like, he is being very manipulative, and I don't like this. You give an English teacher a stroke. He's very, like, not okay. Like, bro looks like he either did a lot of drugs or he's having a manic episode. I don't know which one, but he has been to rehab before, so I can't make assumptions, but those are the two outcomes I have from what I've seen.
Bro, you could not torture this information out of me. This would be locked away. What are you doing?
In case you don't know who Hive Mind is, I collaborated with them. They're like a pretty big channel, but just, they did to me what they did to Nick Is Not Green. I remember when I was there and they were telling me the story. Nick Is Not Green, great friends, you know, he has his thing that happens.
Oh man, I literally looked up on YouTube Sly Boy Nick Is Not Green to see if I made a video about this, and apparently I didn't. But I am generally aware of the situation. Nick Is Not Green made basically a hit piece accusing a particular YouTube channel of a bunch of very foul shit with very scanty evidence. And it was pretty clear that it was just a personal vendetta that was motivating all of this. So he got a lot of backlash. A lot of people cut ties with him, as I think they should have. To his credit, I will say Nick Green did seem to own up pretty well to the situation. But that's what he's referencing there.
Yeah. Nick Is Not Green has changed quite a bit. And at least he admits that he makes harmful content. Brad, what is this, dude?
And bye-bye Nick Is Not Green, no longer associated with the name. Now, of course, at the time, I'm just thinking like, oh, thank God I'm on the right side, you know, of this shit.
He is a pussy, dude. Like, he just showed his hand again there, where it's like his relief in that situation was that he happened to be like on the right side of it. His metric of the right side being like who gets the heat, as opposed to like actually being a principled person who stands up for what they believe in.
He's being wishy-washy, bro. Like, he only cares about his status.
And I actually, well, I would say became friends with Nick Is Not Green, but I honestly just, I think he sent me a message like 5 months ago that I never checked. So even then, like, not doing great with that. But like, I got to see that perspective. You know, I got to see both sides. And
Did you?
in my opinion,
Did you see both sides? Because from what I'm hearing, you only care about Hivemind's side.
I don't give a shit.
You clearly do.
Whatever.
That's what a fucking pussy, dude. Like, that's just slimy. You're just a slime of a man. Like he does not care about right or wrong, is what he keeps saying over and over in different ways. He just cares about being liked and about having a successful YouTube channel.
4 months ago, when I decided to stop streaming and stop working, it basically came down to, I can't do this anymore. I can't fucking do it anymore. Like, something is wrong. You know?
Indeed.
So
Something is wrong with you.
So I'm like, I don't really know what is wrong, but I just feel like I shouldn't stream. So instead I start watching movies. And I kind of come to the idea that, like, I don't really know if I should work because I really don't want to. You know? So I just kind of keep sitting around all day watching movies. And then it's like the stuff with my ex, and then like with Hivemind, and how that's all connected. You know, I can't get it out of my head. I fucking can't.
So he's continuing to have a mental breakdown. I don't want.
Yeah, dude looks like he did some stuff. You can tell by his facial expressions and his mannerisms. It does look like he did some stuff, yeah. But it also, I've seen manic episodes like this. I've seen myself like this. And I wasn't on any substances, but I've seen myself like this at times. So I don't have an indication if it's one or the other. It could be. It really could be. But I'm not going to make a judgment call until I get the facts on it.
I want to throw out stuff I don't know. It feels like there are substances involved here, and he's holding on to a ton of bitterness over the collapse of his relationship, while simultaneously dodging accountability for what sounded like some pretty terrible behavior, potentially even abusive, if the domestic violence charge does in fact stick.
Yeah.
Like, my ex leaving to go and like be a part of Hivemind and fuck Graydon's roommate, you know? Like, yeah, well, I wasn't taking it so well.
So it kind of goes into ramble territory from there.
True, we can't say it's fact since we don't know him personally or evidence has been shown. And, like, sure, he has a history of going to rehab, but we don't know if, like, he relapsed or anything. We don't know.
He talks about how the only thing he enjoys doing currently is getting high, listening to music in the car with friends, and so he will just go for long, infinite drives in the middle of the afternoon, scouting music and building playlists to get high to and listen to with friends at night. He talks about reconnecting with his dad a little bit, and then says he's going to be doing better, or he's going to be trying to do better moving forward. Listen, this guy talked about himself a lot in this video. I don't want that to happen. I hope it doesn't happen. You know, obviously the things about his character that have come out as a result of just this ongoing drama is incredibly disappointing. I think it would be best both for him and for everybody else for him to just not do YouTube. It doesn't seem like he likes YouTube anymore. I understand that's how he's made his money, but, you know, you're not entitled to continue having a job off of something that you are clearly bad at. I think he is legitimately just not good at YouTube at this point.
Not just that, but he doesn't care.
If you're in engineering,
he doesn't have the passion for it. It seems like, now that we're looking at this, it seems like it's all about the money, and that makes me really upset because I've watched Brad Tayson music, like binge watched Brad Tayson music. So, this is a lot. And I didn't know about any of this. The only controversy I knew of, quote unquote, was when he pissed off Melanie Martinez fans for calling her a predator, which I agree with. As a former Melanie fan, I agree with it. So,
and you start to suck at engineering, you're going to lose your job. That should be the case with influencers as well. Sometimes it isn't. I hope that is the case with him. Again, for his sake and for everybody else's, that to me would be much better than him going on to become some sort of lol cow, because I think I think he would have a shorter life if that were the result of all of this. So yeah, very sad, very disheartening. If Brad Taste in Music does in fact leave the internet for good, I promise I will start a Walmart brand Brad Taste in Music copycat channel just to fill the void. I feel as though that is my existential duty, given I seem to be somehow connected to this person.
only in likeness, man. Only in likeness. We got an update. Oh shit, we got an update. Hold on.
Hello, my name is not Brad. I do not have a Brad Taste in Music. However, yesterday I did make a video about the YouTuber known as Brad Taste in Music, specifically in regards to his arrest for domestic violence. I don't really like making multiple videos about a particular person or about a particular situation, but if there are updates that are noteworthy enough, I do feel like I have a responsibility to make an update video. That's the case here. Brad's ex has come out with a statement on Twitter that I think is worth going over. I will get to that in a second. I'm not retracting anything from my last video. I stand by that video fully. There were a group of Brad supporters who came into the comments section with some dissent. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. A couple people accused me of trying to portray Brad Taste in Music as an abuser without proper evidence. There was only one person making him look bad in that video, and that was himself. Let me summarize again exactly what he did. He posted a video in which he said he was arrested for domestic violence. He elaborated on that not at all, and then he deleted the video a couple hours later. If I made a video saying, guys, I'm under a lot of stress right now, I got arrested for stalking, didn't elaborate, and then deleted the video, you know what people would assume about me? Can you take a guess? Now, some other Brad supporters brought up
it's a very valid point
that when you get arrested for domestic violence, a lot of the times cops will automatically take the side of the woman, even if there isn't very much evidence to say that you were being violent in any way. I did say in that video that it is technically possible that Brad's ex called the cops on him under false pretenses of domestic violence. But
yeah, he did say it was entirely plausible. However, Brad didn't really come with receipts, you know? He didn't pull a quite where he spent like hours posting and talking about receipts. So yeah, it could have gone either way.
But were that to be the case, it is now Brad's responsibility to clear his name, because he is the one who made a video saying, hey guys, I got arrested for domestic violence. You know what would be a great follow-up to that sentence? Something along the lines of, I've never hit a woman. I would never hit a woman. You know what we got instead of that? Various anecdotes about him losing his shit on her.
I go to the kitchen. I see her sitting on the couch, like screaming and crying, and I'm pissed off. Like, because like I'm trying to focus, you know, to get work done. And it felt like she was interrupting that.
We got no elaboration from Brad. To this day, as of the upload of this video, we still don't have any elaboration from him. My video had no agenda, either against or for Brad. Nowhere in that video did I say that we know for a fact that Brad was abusive. What we do know is that his ex alleged abuse. I went over that in the video. I'll go over it again briefly, as well as her new statement, which clears things up. In a Twitter thread about Brad, his ex said, I do not want him to hurt himself, and I do not want to get into legal trouble. I have been silent the past year because I wanted to see him get better, and I desperately wanted to move forward with my life after spending half of my 20s being abused. It's clear he still wants to punish me for the consequences of his own actions. This is not a new thing for me, as he did that the entire length of our relationship. After almost 6 years of trying my hardest to protect him despite the abuse,
6 years,
I just don't have it in me anymore. I'm not a public person, never have been. I try to handle things in the best way that I can. Right now, I just need time to figure out the best way to move forward. I don't have anything compiled or prepared because revisiting it is incredibly triggering. Thanks to anyone who has reached out with words of support. I have no doubts about what I went through, as I have undeniable evidence of it and have discussed it extensively in therapy and with close friends. I don't really need strangers to believe me.
And it's really traumatic to, like, have to look through all those clips and shit like that. So, I mean, it's understandable. But the fact that, you know, you're making a more solid case for yourself than Brad is for himself, you know, it says a lot.
I am in a much better spot in my life now, surrounded by wonderful people who do not mistreat me. At this point, I am more interested in spreading awareness and validating the experiences of people who have gone through similar things without the support that I'm so lucky to have. If anyone reading this can relate to anything that's been discussed or shared so far, please know you are not alone. There is a way out, even if it feels impossible right now. Reach out to a friend or call the domestic violence hotline and get yourself safe. In another Twitter thread, she says, might be time to deplatform my abuser. Give me some time. Honestly, he's doing a pretty good job of deplatforming himself. Now, as of today, she has a new statement on Twitter, which goes as follows. I've decided that I'm not going to speak publicly on the Brad situation beyond these tweets. I just want to close this chapter and move on with my life. The only thing I want to clarify based on things I've been seeing discussed is that he never hit me or physically abused me. I'm going to...
Damn. Okay, so it was probably verbal and emotional abuse.
Continue silently rooting for his rehabilitation and working on healing the wounds that this whole recent situation reopened. Thanks again for all the support and kindness. I'm going to say something, and I honestly have no idea if this is controversial or not. I don't think the word we use to describe someone who hits women should be the same word we use to describe someone who is emotionally cruel and sadistic. Both are very bad, but they have very different real-world consequences.
Yes.
Now listen, we still don't know what happened on the night that he got arrested. I think it would be very good if Brad made a statement still. So that's about it. I thought it was worthwhile to clear up this situation, what little I can. How I'm able to clear it up more than Brad himself at this point is beyond me. That's about it. Stay tuned. Knock Off Brad Taste in Music channel coming soon. I'll be like that asshole who replaced Steve in Blue's Clues. Like, hey, guy.
No, not Joe. I used to hate Joe, but he grew on me. Now, the new guy, I refuse to watch the new Blue's Clues, I'm sorry.
The guy you liked is going away, but I'm very, very similar. If you squint your eyes, you can't tell a difference, and I promise it's going to be fun. We're all going to have fun. Just eat your Cheerios and watch me shit on 21 Pilots.
Oh my god. Okay. I hate how KG was with important details. Yeah. Verbal psychological abuse. Listen, there are labels for that. It's called verbal abuse and emotional abuse, but, you know, you didn't hear that shit from me, though. Yeah, that's some bullshit. Alright. So we have an update. We have a pretty bad update. We're going to go ahead and watch it. I'm going to give you my thoughts, and then I will leave the full audio in the description.
All right, first things first, Brad, I know there's a chance you see this. Stop fucking uploading. We can swear in the first 7 seconds of a video now, guys. Did you know that? YouTube changed the rule. Stop fucking uploading. It's not fucking helping you. It's not fucking helping your ex. It's not good for your audience. It's literally good for nobody at this point. Brad Taste in Music was a highly appreciated music review channel. He has...
I'm not gonna lie. It still boggles my mind that this shit is real.
Weathered a series of abuse allegations lately. 2 new pieces of evidence just dropped. One would be a video that Brad created titled My Response, which he uploaded and then quickly deleted, as per Brad's typical MO at this point. And the second would be this. This is Brad's own community posts page, where he made a post saying, trigger warning, abuse, the full uncut audio that got Brad arrested. Trigger warning is correct, by the way. If you are at all sensitive to domestic type frightening situations, you are not going to like what's going to happen later on in this video. So you are now forewarned. Buckle your damn seatbelts.
Yeah. Like, pump the brakes, leave the video if you have to. Like, it's about to go down.
of people are speculating that one of his moderators got into his account and posted this. As of the recording of this video, this is still
on Twitter. Tina said that she gave full permission for the editor to post it. So yes, one of the editors.
Up on his community posts page. I don't know if his YouTube channel is compromised at this point. It's full-on Armageddon out there in Brad world. I want to make something very clear. I have absolutely zero moral qualms getting views, sharing my thoughts on a situation like Brad Taste in Music's. However, once it gets to the third video on the downfall of a creator, it feels like we are very much in like vulture content territory. Let me be precise.
Yeah, it feels like slop. And I know I'm a React channel mostly, so I can't really say much because I'm pretty sure people think I'm a slop channel anyway. But, like, I'm in college and I'm between jobs on my primary source of income. But listen, I'm in college and usually I have 2 jobs. So this is what I'm able to do with the time that I'm allotted after all of that.
Clear about the reason behind this particular video. In the last video I made about this, Brad's ex stated on Twitter that Brad had never physically abused her, which led a pretty significant amount of people in my comments section to accuse Brad's ex of intentionally falsely portraying him as a physical abuser when no physical abuse actually happened. The same people accused Brad's ex of getting him arrested for domestic violence under false pretenses. After all, how can you have your boyfriend arrested for domestic violence if you yourself admit he has never physically harmed you? I believe
there's verbal, emotional, and intimate abuse. Like, there are multiple types of abuse. There are multiple types of abuse. There's multiple types of abuse. I don't understand what's so hard to get about that.
The contents of this video completely exonerate Brad's ex. I believe that because of Brad's explosive and unhinged behavior, his ex had sufficient reason to be concerned for her own safety. And you know who else believes this? Brad.
Like, she truly believes she was in that much danger. And I think that she's completely valid for that, and that she's allowed to feel however she feels about the situation.
You don't look fucked up out of your mind. That's surprising.
She truly believes that everything she's done is in self-defense. And what I'm here to say is, I completely believe her. It's weird because I understand what she means when she says it's in self-defense, and I don't think that this is a universal situation. I don't think this is something that represents her character. I believe this is something that was developed specifically for this relationship, so that she can protect herself from me.
The only thing approaching credence I will give to these arguments is that I do think it would have been better for the entire dialogue on this if Brad's ex had been more clear about exactly what type of abuse she was accusing him of when she was on Twitter making allegations. I think when you're throwing out allegations that serious, it's good to be not vague, but I understand why it played out that way, and I think that's a very, very light criticism in comparison to everything else going on in this situation.
I personally agree that it should have been more specific, although I understand why it was so vague. There's a lot that, could be said that wasn't. I'm just happy that it finally got out there and we got, a specific example. However, the example we got is very haunting.
Okay, Brad's response. Brad's pitch in this video is that he and his ex were equally victims of each other. Yes, that's what he's going with. He fully admits that he believes everything his ex did was fully done in self-defense. So he's already defeated his own argument before he's made it.
I'm going to be bringing up, yes, I am talking about this, I'm going to be bringing up my ex-partner. But I want to make it very clear, that everything I am about to say, I have zero intention of saying or trying to victimize myself through what she has done. I'm going to be accusing her of some pretty hefty things, but I want to show you that I have a pretty strong understanding of the situation, and I truly do believe that, like, we are both victims in this situation, like, equally.
How can you say you're not gonna victimize yourself and then say we're both victims of the situation in the same sentence? Motherfucker, please enlighten me, cause you got me fucked up.
I've never put a finger near her, but also at the same time, everything she's saying, you know, about being extremely hurt and horrified, and you know, like not wanting to be around me, and you know how she truly believes that everything she's done is in self-defense. And what I'm here to say is, I completely believe her, but I also think it's worth mentioning the things that she did in self-defense, and like why they would result in me losing it and screaming.
Brad goes on to address some of the abuse allegations a little bit more head on. He contextualizes his episodes in which he would explode on his ex by saying that he comes from a loud family. Now, as mentioned before,
I'm a loud bitch. Like, I am a loud bitch, and yet I've also experienced abuse. Being loud and screaming are two completely different things, bro. They're two completely different things.
we do have audio of one of these episodes with him exploding on her now. I think I'm just going to tastefully put in small snippets of that episode in the midst of his explanation of this behavior and let you decide whether it's a just excuse or not. I'm not going to...
There's gonna be no warning when these clips come up. I'm just gonna be real. And I want you, if you have the will, to go to the actual drive link and listen to the audio. I'm gonna put it in the description of my video. It's pretty fucking bad, guys. It's pretty fucking bad. I remember, like, maybe an hour ago when I heard the original audio, it felt like my stepdad was yelling at me, was screaming at me. You know, it felt like my ex-husband was screaming at me. And the thing is, my ex-husband has never verbally abused me. It's always been emotional. He was a narcissist, like, self-admitted. So, yeah. It felt like my roommates were fighting with each other. Like, it was just really uncomfortable.
I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. He sounds like a fucking demon. He sounds like an Elden Ring boss in this audio.
So basically, for me though, like my family, everyone I've been around my whole life is loud. They talk over each other, they yell at each other, but they never mean anything bad by it. So I never really saw anything wrong with it. They're just trying to be heard and get their point across and, you know, show their emotions. And so that's like me when I'm yelling.
Look at me in the fucking eyes and say that again! Look at me! Tell me!
And
That's the first snippet. I flinched. I'm not gonna lie. I flinched. It's very venomous. It's very vitriolic. Nowadays, I'd probably punch a person in the face if they came up to me and did that to me. But that's just because I've grown up in so many situations with abuse that I just react at this point. Like, I don't even think. Yeah.
And so the problem is I guess I'm just saying her name, sure. Rightfully, like, gets scared of that, is horrified. What I'm trying to say by this situation is a matter of a bad match, because we like worked perfectly with everything, but it really was me yelling. And again, I would basically yell because, you know, just like out of instinct of trying to get a point across, or even sometimes just tell a joke. And the way that she would handle it is she would feel hurt and scared. And this just kept happening over and over again, where I didn't mean to scare her.
Tell me! Tell me what the fuck you just said! Tell me! Look at me and accept what you have done to me!
Ooh. This is a tough video to get through. Like, it's so quick and so sudden when it switches to the audio. Ooh, I'm a little dizzy. I apologize. It's a lot. And I'm probably going to repeat myself quite a bit because it is hard to formulate words to describe how this is affecting me.
Do you see what I've become? You've killed me! You lied to me!
You know, she got scared. She starts acting very nervous, and then I'm like questioning why she is.
Get out of my house! Get out of my fucking house!
And then, that's when, like, I would start yelling, and then I'd see how upset she was. I was like, holy shit, wait, no, this is not what was supposed to, like, I was just trying to, you know, get my point across.
Now, obviously, the way I edited that dramatizes it quite a bit, but I think it's a very fair juxtaposition. I'll also include the unedited audio leaks in the description below. You can check them out. The context doesn't really change.
We just were not a good match. Fundamentally, we were a bad match. We had a lot of stuff
Y'all were a bad match? Brad, you're just a bad person.
in common, but this one aspect, like, basically, again, like, resulted in 5 years of gaslighting, and, like, I went fucking insane. Like, completely insane. Like, just the feeling that, like, no one's listening to me, no one understands me, and once again, a lot of that's the fact that I'm yelling, and I have a partner who can't listen to me while I'm yelling there. And, like, yelling is how I get, like, naturally my emotions across, so much
No, it's not. I have watched your streams for a long time. No, it's not.
of me is being missed.
Brother, you're not describing an incompatibility between the two of you. You're describing an incompatibility between you and all other humans. Nobody is going to listen to you when you sound like Gollum having an asthma attack. Brad then gets into his accusations of blackmailing. It kind of falls flat the way he explains it.
Wait, that's right. I was explaining basically blackmail. So blackmail is basically like somebody holding you by a chain at all times. Especially the person who I like cared the most about. Her holding the fact that she has stuff that she can like destroy my life with over my head is crazy.
How dare you hold the evidence of the things I did?
In the audio, you fucking told her you were gonna call the police and say that she was emotionally abusing you so that you could get her out of the house. And both of your names apparently are on the lease, so that, like, no, that, you can't fucking say blackmail when you're fucking blackmailing her with the cops.
You against me. He also gets into gaslighting accusations, which are just kind of like very loosely defined. What's interesting, though, is he brings up the domestic violence arrest, which is funny because in the leaked audio, we find out that he was the one openly talking about him calling the police on her and telling them that she was abusive towards him and getting her falsely arrested for that. He fully admits to that in the leaked audio. So not only was his ex not the gaslighter in this particular instance, he is trying to gaslight everybody about this right now.
If you don't respect me as an individual, then you can, honest to God, get the fuck out of my house.
Both of our names are on the lease. So that's not gonna happen. And also, you are not
I'm
entitled.
gonna call the police.
Yeah,
I will get you out of here.
Both
I
of-
will make a story up. I will get you out of here,
both of our
Tina.
names are on the lease, so you will not be doing that. And
I'm really proud of her for trying to stand her ground. I'm really proud of her for trying to stand her ground. Like, I know that this is a tense situation and that a lot of people would run or, freeze. She did try to stand up against it, which I highly respect for that. And I just feel bad for her. Like, I feel so bad for Tina. She didn't deserve that at all.
I will say my partner has been emotionally abusive, and I have asked her to leave many times. And despite the fact that I have no support system, she has refused to leave and has continued to emotionally abuse me. I need her to get out for at least a day. I need space, and she refuses. Can you please escort my partner somewhere else so that I can have some mental peace? That's
Right.
what I'm going to tell him.
That's so.
I'm going to call him.
Okay.
You done? You need to get out of my house.
I have trouble with eye contact. I do.
I am going to call the cops if you don't stop lying to me, Tina. Right now. This is it. Are you done?
What am I lying about?
All right.
What am I lying to you about?
All right.
The fact that she doesn't know what she's lying about says it all.
Well, you gotta hide the weed.
Brad, they're not gonna. We're both on a lease. That doesn't work.
Yeah, it does. I'm gonna say my partner is emotionally abusing me.
Because I'm yelling, and once again, she can't hear a word I'm saying. She just hears yelling. She
She responded to you clear as fucking day.
records it. She shows it to the cops. Tells them how dangerous I am. They arrest me, and it feels like the biggest fucking betrayal of my life.
He then concludes his video with the statement, and this is verbatim. You're not going to believe me at all, but this is verbatim. It really is not my fault as much as it is, like, I don't know.
So, like, it really isn't, not my fault as much
Why are you smiling? You should not be smiling in this situation.
as it is, Like, I don't know. Whatever. Hopefully this clears it up.
Which is such a poetically rich way to end this saga. So if I'm to summarize this video, both me and Brad seem to agree, per Brad's words, that Brad's ex was valid for feeling like she was in danger in this relationship.
She truly believes she was in that much danger. And I think that she's completely valid for that.
That, to me, kind of settles the whole thing. At least enough to say that the domestic violence arrest was warranted. That really is the crux of my argument. Brad himself admits that she had valid reasons to feel like she was in danger. That's why I'm saying this is a closed case. So no, if a guy shouts at a woman in an argument, that doesn't automatically make it domestic violence. I agree with people saying that guys can get pinned with charges like this much more easily when all they were doing was screaming and yelling, and women may scream and yell all day long and will never get a charge like that. But that's not what was going on in this situation, in my opinion. If Brad had not admitted that it was valid for her to feel in danger, I would have a much harder time concluding this case. But he did.
And with the audio, too. If the audio wasn't leaked, that would have made it even harder.
Did say that. If Brad did happen to watch any of this video, he's probably left by now, but in the off chance he hasn't, I truly am not rooting for your downfall. I'm just going to call a spade a spade. At no point have you made yourself look better in this situation. At every point, you've made yourself look worse. I'm sure you're very much like, fuck what this guy thinks, because I'm the one getting views off of criticizing you this week. But if any part of you is like morbidly curious for my 2 cents, here it is. And this is gonna be a left hook, I think. Go to church, dude. Fucking go to church. And I'm not being facetious. I'm being 1000% honest there. Whatever shit you got going on is not the shit that gets fixed by taking time off and being self-reflective. I've never seen anybody bounce back from the depths that you are in by doing that. And I'm not talking about career or, YouTube reputation or anything. I'm just talking about, like, mentally. You're not going to bounce back by just, like, chilling for a sec. You need to...
Brad is going to turn into a lolcow, and we will watch his downfall in real time.
Be enshrouded in a community that is passionate about radically changing the trajectory of their lives. Normally, I'd say rehab. Sounds like you tried that. Sounds like it wasn't awesome for you. Point is, you just need to be surrounded in something that is very dedicated to completely changing the way things are going. And just like general self-help stuff is not gonna cut it. So yeah, the Google Drive with the leaked audio has the incident.m4a.
Look at me!
Fuck, man.
The incident.m4a, I'm going red headphones, all right? I think that pretty much concludes it.
Dog.
All right, first things first.
I was not expecting the red headphones, to be fully honest. I was not expecting a Brad taste in music level judgment. Well, yeah, that's where we're at. Go support Tina. If you were part of Brad's community, go support Tina. She needs all of the kindness she can get. She didn't deserve any of this. And fuck you, Brad. Like, I'm not eager for your downfall. It still boggles my mind that this isn't even real, but yeah, you should go fuck yourself at this point. Genuinely. You're not coming back from this. Sorry.